Well, I'm certainly very excited for the opportunity. You know, it's going to be a great season. You know, co-driving with Jon, who had a lot of experience last year and ran really well. You know, and teamed up with the team that's won the championship here. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better, you know, group behind you and a better, you know, personnel. I mean, met the guys this morning. It seems like a great group of mechanics, and you know, from the truck driver to the mechanic to the engineers, everybody really seems to be switched on, and I think we all have the same goal, which is to win races and win the championship. You know, I mean, these guys did it last year, and we need to go out there and defend it again. Yeah, I think for me, some of the big things I'm going to take from NASCAR that are going to help me become a better sports car racer are purely, you know, simple things like, you know, learning how to be there at the end of these races. I mean, those NASCAR races are so long. There's so many things that change, so many things that go on, that I feel like that's really going to help me, you know, be able to understand how these races unfold and you know, have a more mature view when it comes to that sort of thing. And you know, the other things are working in a big team. I mean, you know, I drove for Roush Fenway. They had 500 plus employees there. So, you know, working at a professional high level and you know, I think the experiences that I learned in NASCAR are definitely going to help translate over here. Well, you know, I think certainly it's really important to have, you know, the drivers be as prepared as the engineers or the mechanics. So we've been doing some karting. Me and Jon have been going to the go-kart track and doing a little bit of go-karting, and going to keep doing that throughout the season. I think that's, you know, an area that really helps both myself and Jon get up to speed, and, you know, just be driving something week in and week out, I think is really helpful. You know, you don't have to get back in the race car and knock the rust off. We can go do that at the go-kart track. And you know, here at Autosports headquarters, we got a simulator that we've been using as well that has most of the ALMS tracks, and it's really helpful just to get, you know, back used to racing at these racetracks. We can sit in there with Gary, the engineer, and kind of show them, hey, this happens here, this is a big bump we've got to work around here. I think, you know, it just helps everybody become more engaged in what we're doing and, you know, a part of the program. So I think preparation is very important. It's definitely, you know, going to be an adjustment working with the downforce here that these LMPC cars have. You know, back in my past, I've driven a lot of open wheel formula cars that have a fair amount of downforce considering how light they are. So, you know, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix of all the different kinds of cars I've driven. You know, I've driven a lot of Daytona prototype Grand Am cars. So I think some of that's going to translate over. Some of the open wheel experience that I have is going to translate over. But I'm really looking forward to, you know, getting out there and seeing what these cars are like for the first time. I think it's going to be you know, definitely an adjustment, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be great to have a co-driver like Jon, who has experience and has run all these tracks last year and, you know, has knows these cars in and out. I think that's going to be very helpful.